皆さん、また来てくださってありがとうございます。昨日は土砂降りの金曜日から一夜明けて今日は雨が降っておりません。土曜日のマンハッタンニューヨーク夜です。ということで、今日の動画はね、全然触れてなかったんですけど、9月の12日にマッカーシーさんが、バイデン大統領の弾劾を開始しますということで宣言してから、今週の、木曜日に初めて公聴会があったんですね。それと同日木曜日にイーロン・マスクが実際彼自身が、南の国境に行ってどうなってるか、本当に政権やメインメディアが国境は安全です。国境は全然安全なんです。安全に守られてます。違法移民なんて全然大丈夫です。減ってますよっていうのが本当に真実なのかって。誰もどこの州でもそんなこと言ってる人がいない中で、どうして政権とメインメディアだけがそんなことを言ってるのかっていうことで、実際イーロン大先生が実際に国境に行ったライブストリームということで、これかなり話題になりました。ということでね、水曜日は一応第2回ディベートがあったんですけど、はっきり言って皆様にお伝えするようなまともなディベートではなく、非常にお粗末な小学生並みのワイヤ言ってるディベートだったので、お伝えする必要もないかなと思って今回は割愛します。水曜日のディベートで誰が一番勝ったかっていうと、間違いなくトランプさんです。ということで今日はいろんな寄せ集めのビデオにしています。見てください。どうぞ。
Today, I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden.
Listen to this.
I think the impeachment inquiry is absurd. The American people want us to do something that will make their lives better, not go off on these chases and witch hunts. The bottom line is, as we have said, you can only accomplish keeping the government open in a bipartisan way.
Wow, you guys have had a couple of years to make our lives better, and you haven't done jack squat. They've done jack squat. Everything's worse. Everything is worse. It's so interesting hearing that man say that and have those words come out of his face when they've made everything worse. God, take all the seats, Chuck.
I know, right? I mean, it's just amazing to hear them. The American people don't want us wasting our time on all these witch hunts.
Okay,
really?
Russia.
You went on a witch hunt based on a fake P tape.
Exactly.
So sit down.
I know. And that's the thing about this whole inquiry, this impeachment thing. They opened this Pandora's box. You do this to Trump based on a nothing burger, which is precisely based on hate. They did it based on hatred for the guy, basically. Because it was like all that stuff was a lie. It was all a lie. So, okay, well, we're going to do it to you. And we actually have a case. But we can technically impeach this guy if we wanted to, based on actual evidence.
And so one of the press folks asked, isn't this just political revenge? And here is him just being awesome.
It's about political revenge. We have the bank accounts. We can see, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interests. Those things aren't normal. It's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes to not only just widespread corruption, but money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. And we also have the vice president at the time on record saying that the prosecutor was fired. Well, son of a bitch, the prosecutor was fired, right? Because the prosecutor was going after the company that his son was working on. That's what we have. If you can't see that, if you are that blunt, look, I'll turn it over to the attorneys.
People can't see that. They think it's political revenge.
It's because you don't report on it.
Bingo.
Yeah, you don't report on it. These people just want to see what they want to see. And then as evidenced by the fact that everybody on our side has been squelched. I mean, it's like we've seen it. Like they just proved that the Fifth Circuit, court just proved that stuff was squelched. Like First Amendment rights have been squelched. You don't think the press is in on all this? You don't think absolutely protecting the Bidens And if people think otherwise, well, then you have your thumb stuck up your butt so far.
He needs every New York City mom to rise up. Here she is.
New York parents, you keep making fucking noise, okay? Because this governor does not give a fuck about our kids, okay? They said, listen, kids come to school, you cannot turn them away based on their immigration status. They don't speak English, you need to find somebody who can speak their language. I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? Because I'll tell you right now, when my kids went to school, every fucking time I had to register a kid, I needed a mortgage paper, I needed a tax bill, I needed utility fucking bills, birth certificates, vaccination fucking records, okay?
Right.
My kids had to be up to date on their polio, on their MMR, on their DPT, on their fucking parvo and rabies and shit like that, okay? Now you don't let all these kids in the school that have nothing.
Parvo.
So I had to protect everybody else's kids. I had to follow all these rules. But now, fuck it. We're just going to throw it out to the wayside because you have a little bit of a fucking crisis. No, it doesn't work like that.
I love her.
I mean, she's 100% correct. Think of all the hoops that you have to go through,
right,
to put your kids in school. And then they're like, I mean, we've got all these illegal kids coming in. It's fine. It's fine. We're just going to put, not only that, but then there's the learning curve with the language.
Right.
So you shove a bunch of illegal kids in a classroom who don't know English. What does that do to your kids? It just takes the level of the classroom down.
Yep.
And then it's like, well, screw your kids. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. You got to make sure everybody catches up. I mean, it affects your children. It affects your children from a health perspective. It affects your children from a learning perspective. It affects the teachers. It affects the whole school system. It affects the community.
It affects every system that we have.
Right.
Our entire economic system is impacted. Everything is impacted.
From where this is all happening in Eagle Pass, which is the kind of the epicenter of the migrant crisis right now, a tiny little town of 28,000 people. They've been totally overwhelmed with more than 7,500 in the past 2 days.
I'm at Eagle Pass, just arrived, and we're just going to go around and talk to the major officials. I am, as an immigrant to the United States, I'm extremely pro-immigrant, and I believe that we need a greatly expanded legal immigration system, and that we should let anyone in the country who is hardworking and honest and will be a contributor to the United States. We should have expedited legal approval for anyone who sort of falls in that category. But then, by the same token, we should also not be allowing people in the country if they're breaking the law. That doesn't make sense. The law is there for a reason. I think we want to do both things: smooth out legal immigration, and then stop the sort of a flow of people that is of such magnitude that is actually leading to a collapse of social services, where even America's largest city, New York, is buckling under the pressure of just how many illegal immigrants are going to New York. If New York can't handle it, well, pretty much no part of the country can.
We're full. We are full. And, he's a Texan.
And I have to give Jake Tapper some credit here that took place between him and Ayanna Pressley. He tries and tries. She tries and tries to insist that it is. It gets completely crazy. Watch this.
I don't disagree with this being a humanitarian crisis at all, but just to get some clarity on this, and sure, it's a conversation for another day, but do you think that the border is secure? Is that what you said?
Yes, the border is secure. And we are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis that has been created by a broken system. And in the meantime, we need federal investment to support my constituents and those who call the MA7 home writ large, which is why we need to prevent a government shutdown. I want to center the humanity, the dignity, the safety, and the needs of everyone, which is why we should not have a government shutdown. It will be deeply consequential. It will create a dire situation for families, many that are already struggling.
But if you have millions of undocumented migrants coming into the country, how is the border secure?
Jake, this is not a new crisis.
Oh my God.
It does require more political will and commitment.
There's more.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, except for the idea that the border is secure. I mean, if you have people crossing the border, it's just by definition not secure. If you have people coming to the United States, in fact, I mean, one of the arguments being made, and I think it's an argument worth considering, is that because our border is so porous, millions of people make this very unsafe journey. Millions of people give money to people who prey on them, coyotes, and take them on these journeys to cross into the United States, preying on them, vulnerable people. And that's because the border is not secure. Because it is not secure, they go on this journey. And one of the arguments that is made, and maybe you disagree with it, is that the border should be secure so as to discourage people from making this journey.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's more.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
She continues to be stupid? Okay.
And wait till you see how it ends. It's just perfect.
Like, just such a refusal to acknowledge reality, just to say that the border is secure when we all know millions of people are crossing the border illegally every year.
Right.
Jake, and that is a consequence of a number of things. We have climate refugees, people that have been disabled in regions that are destabilized by extreme weather events.
Sure.
There's
it
more.
Sounds like in there you acknowledge that there are millions of people crossing the border illegally, which would mean that the border is not secure. But, I mean, I don't disagree with any of the points you made about these people are trying to seek better lives and they're escaping all sorts of horrible things. But would you grant me the point that the border is not secure?
Jake, that is a conversation for another day.
Oh my God. He's trying to have the conversation now, you idiot.
That took like 9 minutes. And she's like, well, that's just really not a conversation.
And I want to have it. And I want to have it right now. We're not going to talk about that right now.
Oh my God. I just love that.
Completely insufferable.
But he really tried.
He tried.
He really tried.
These people are just incapable of saying the border is not secure. They've done a piss poor job of securing it. It is not secure. By the way,
why engage in that level of gaslighting? Like, why try to convince people of something that they clearly see with their own eyes is not the case?
Because Democrats are stupid enough to buy it.
That's
Seriously, they're dumbasses at this point. I'm not trying to be mean, but these people are actually buying it. There are people out there who are like, secure. Did you guys see that Elon Musk is there?
Mm-hmm.
He's there at the border. He's like, I want to see what's going on. I mean, he's there and she's not. Doesn't that tell you something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, these Democrats don't want to see it. They're like, la, 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 it's totally secure, la, la. And then Elon Musk is there. What the hell what's wrong with our country when this is happening?
No, there's a lot wrong. There is a lot wrong.